Today on People Now, listen up, little monsters. Lady Gaga is heading to Vegas.
Insatiable star Debby Ryan opens up about how she and her fellow Disney stars get through the pressures of being young and famous.
The Bachelorette is engaged. We find out what's next for Becca Kufrin and her newly picked fiancé. Plus, we're getting an even closer look at that ring bling.
The royals attend a romantic summer wedding, and Meghan Markle dressed to impress. We're breaking down Meghan's wedding guest style with our royal correspondent, Imogen Lloyd-Webber.
It is all today on People Now. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to People Now.
Wow.
So good to see you. We know you stayed up to watch that season finale of The Bachelorette last night. It happened, and boy, was it worth it. So Becca Kufrin and Garrett are engaged. Spoiler alert. We're breaking down the finale with the full recap a little later, but for now, we've got a very important question.
Yes, we want to know, who do you think should find love as the next Bachelor? You got Blake, maybe Colton. What about Bachelor runner-up Jason? I don't know. Very good option,
Wills.
I will say. Or Wills too is great. I
All
like
right.
Blake, but we'll get into it more.
We'll break it all down. You can vote in our People Now poll, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Lady Gaga is heading to Las Vegas. People exclusively confirms that the 6-time Grammy winner will launch her residency at Park Theater at the new Park MGM Resort on December 28th. The pop star telling People in a statement, quote, "We're creating a show unlike anything I've done before. It'll be a celebration of all that is unique and different within us. The challenges of bravery can be overcome with creativity and courage that is grown out of adversity, love, and music." Now, Gaga will be performing a total of 27 performances for her residency, and the singer's little monsters will have their pick. This is pretty cool. She's going to have 2 different shows, Lady Gaga Enigma and Lady Gaga Jazz and Piano. According to a press release, Lady Gaga Enigma will take fans on an adventure built around her biggest pop hits. I want to go on that adventure. While Lady Gaga Jazz and Piano will feature stripped-down versions of her songs, as well as music from the Great American Songbook. Bill Hornbuckle, president of MGM Resorts International, tells People in a statement that working with Lady Gaga and her team has been a career highlight, and what the pop star has planned is nothing short of spectacular. I'm very excited for this. Tickets for Gaga's residency go on sale starting August 13th. Well, will Donald Trump's star on the Walk of Fame become a thing of the past? The West Hollywood City Council unanimously voted in favor of a resolution requesting that the president's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame be permanently removed this week. Now, the resolution comes just after Trump's star was destroyed by a man identified as Austin Clay wielding a pickaxe on July 25th. According to CBS Los Angeles, the council's resolution asked the Los Angeles City Council and Hollywood Chamber of Commerce to take the action regarding the star which Trump received for his time on The Apprentice in 2007. CNN reports that the decision is not legally binding because the West Hollywood City Council actually has no jurisdiction over the Walk of Fame. In a statement to CNN, West Hollywood Mayor John Duran said, quote, "The West Hollywood City Council did not pass the resolution because Donald Trump is a conservative or a Republican. Earning a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is an honor. When one belittles and attacks minorities, immigrants, Muslims, people with disabilities, or women, the honor no longer exists." That's his quote. Duran says that such a request has never been made before, but he says, quote, "The circumstances compelled us to make an exception to the rule." Now, neither the West Hollywood City Council nor the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce immediately responded to People's request for comment.
Rebecca Jill Kufrin, my Becca, will you marry me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Give me that finger.
Oh my God. It's you. It's us. We're fun together.
Even get the words out. Had to come in for the kiss there. We finally have our answer, folks. Becca is engaged to Garrett. Now, the two said yes during Monday night's Bachelorette finale after lots of laughs, lots of tears, and some smooches. We caught up with the smitten couple who said they are relieved the secret's out and they can at last go shopping at Costco.
To know that we're now at the end and we can be in public and shout it from the rooftops, it still feels surreal.
We haven't really put a timestamp on a time frame for the wedding. Yeah, we're kind of just, going with the flow. We're more excited about just being together outside and being able to walk down the street and go to Costco. And once we move in together, I think that we'll go from there.
I don't care if I have a short engagement or a long engagement, just whatever feels right for us.
The pair added they can't wait to have a family, but are probably going to start off with a few pets first. kind of get the ball rolling there. Becca says Garrett's going to be a, quote, hot dad, while her fiance gushes that she'll make a wonderful mother. Still, their journey has not been easy. Garrett came under fire earlier this season for liking several hateful and transphobic memes on Instagram. Becca addressed the controversy during Monday nights after the final rose, saying she does not condone his likes and that the pair have had multiple conversations about the incident. And Garrett continues to stand by his apology, adding he wants to continue to learn and do better.
You know, it's tough because I didn't mean to offend anyone, and so I released that apology on my Instagram, and I sincerely stand by that today. I'm trying to grow and be better continuously, and we addressed and we talked about it, and we're moving forward to try to become a stronger couple.
People have their opinions, and people have been saying really terrible things about him, but that's not who he is to his core. He's a good guy, and we've all made mistakes, and we all have done things that aren't perfect and that offend others at times, but all I could ask for is somebody who owns up to what they've done and who apologizes and wants to grow and move forward, and that's what he's done.
And guys, stick around. We'll be breaking down more of the finale with Bachelor Nation cast members Kayla Quinn and Vanessa Grimaldi. Lots to discuss. That's coming up in just a little bit. I'll tell you, watching that finale last night, I've never seen a person who I believed looked more visibly kind of affected by the looming controversy than he did when he was on that stage.
And I just interviewed the couple, which that's going to be in tomorrow's show, and you can tell that they're very, very in love. They're moving past this for sure. I mean, they were all over each other, so it's nice to see that they definitely found their person.
I think they're happy. They just want to move beyond this moment and then have their life.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, you've got more for us.
I know. We are kicking off Star Treks with all the details about a certain someone's engagement ring. We're not done talking about this today, okay? Becca Kufrin's ring finger just got a lot more sparkly. The Bachelorette said yes to frontrunner Garrett Monday night, and her 18-karat gold engagement ring caught everyone's attention. Neil Lane custom-made the diamond sparkler, exclusively telling people he, quote, wanted to make a ring that was totally different than anything I'd done for the show before. I wanted to create something very special for Becca, especially considering everything that happened with Ari. While most of Lane's previous designs have been platinum, this ring oozed elegance with a gold band and nearly 4 carats worth of diamonds. 3 oval stones represent the couple's past, present, and future. Lane adding that Garrett took the ring process very seriously, had a grin on his face the entire time. Not surprising. Let's be real, guys. I think Becca liked it as well. She told Chris Harrison on After the Final Rose that her fiance did very well. We have to agree. Big congrats to the happy couple. Well, Jason Bateman is telling it like it is, remembering his most hilarious parenting fail on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jason, who lives in Georgia for months at a time filming the Netflix show Ozark, decided to bring his oldest daughter Franny down south for some father-daughter bonding time. But the trouble started mere minutes into their ride to the airport when Franny popped out a very tricky question about Easter, eventually making Jason pinky swear that the Easter Bunny was real. Here's how he handled it. Watch.
I said, I don't lie to you. We don't need to do a pinky promise. Easter egg bunny's real. She goes, the pinky promise. I said, I'm not going to do that, honey. Let's go. Come on, we're almost to the airport. Let's focus. She said, and she puts her pinky. So she made me do the pinky promise. And I said, the Easter egg bunny is not real. Yeah. I can't lie to the kid. I can't break the pinky promise. Right. She goes, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense. She said, you know what does not make sense, though, in addition to the bunny, is the tooth fairy. I don't understand.
Poor guy, I feel bad for him. Jason says even their cab driver took pity on him in that moment, shaking his head and shooting him looks of sympathy from the front seat. But it wasn't over yet. As soon as Jason fessed up about the tooth fairy, Franny cornered him about Santa Claus. Then the absolute worst part came, texting his wife Amanda to let her know everything that went down. Luckily, though, Mom and Dad thought quickly, getting Franny to do a little pinky promising of her own that she wouldn't spoil the fun for her 6-year-old younger sister, Maple. We all remember those times where we had to find out about the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, and it was the worst time ever. All right, moving on to this. Have Thomas Ravenel and Ashley Jacobs called it quits? Rumors are swirling around the Southern Charm couple after a report on Kate Casey's podcast, Reality Life with Kate Casey, on Friday. According to Casey, Jacobs called in and said, quote, she broke up with him and that she blocked his number, but she's in a weird position because she got licensing to be a nurse in South Carolina and really had come to the conclusion that she was going to set up a new life. Ashley explained that, quote, she has no intention of getting back together with him. Neither Bravo nor Jacobs returned people's requests for comment. However, Ashley did post this cryptic Instagram with the caption, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Ashley and Thomas started dating in May of 2020. 2017. And in recent months, the relationship has been thrust into the spotlight after allegations of sexual assault were brought against Ravenel, for which he is currently under investigation. And those are your Star Treks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. We're breaking down every detail from Monday night's shocking Bachelorette finale, including how Garrett handled that whole Instagram controversy. Plus, former Disney star Debby Ryan opens up about the difficulties of growing up in the spotlight. Stick around for that.
All right, in light of last night's season finale of The Bachelorette, we've been asking, who do you think should find love next as the next Bachelor? So let's check in on our People Now poll to see who you guys are voting for.
I'm anxious to see who's leading the pack.
A lot of
Oh,
really
okay.
great-
Jason.
Oh.
Jason came in strong at the end.
Okay.
And like with the menthol and all that. He was
I'm actually
really strong.
surprised that Colton isn't up there. Maybe it's the recency bias.
My wife and I were talking about this. He's lost his sense. I think people have lost their. He doesn't seem
If you
as
had to
genuine.
choose right when the Colton stuff was happening, then probably Colton would be in there.
Right then, yeah.
Yeah.
But now.
But everyone forgets. That's what happens on these shows.
Cycled out.
You forget.
Anyway, all right, let's take a peek at our final results later.
Yes, and we want to know who you think is going to be the next Bachelor, who you want to be the next Bachelor. But now back to this.
All right, when we spotted this Disney Channel reunion back in April, we were loving it. I mean, the gang is all here. Look at that picture.
Yes, Demi Lovato, Debby Ryan, Cole Sprouse, Camp Rock alum Allison Stoner, and So Random star Matthew Scott Montgomery looked like they were having a blast on their night out in LA.
So the photo takes on a whole new meaning, obviously, in light of Demi Lovato's troubles over the last couple weeks. She's always been very open about the tough time that she's had with addiction, bipolar disorder, self-harm, and bulimia.
So when Debby Ryan stopped by to talk about her new Netflix show Insatiable, which tackles with so many common teen struggles like body image, bullying, and self-worth, we had to ask her about her own experience growing up and dealing with those issues in the spotlight.
She shared how the entertainment industry can magnify those insecurities for its young stars and how it actually makes her bond with her fellow Disney stars more important than ever before. Watch this.
I think before even being like a Disney star, I was a little girl, and that's hard to be. It's just hard to be. And I think having a pool party and putting on a bathing suit and not swimming and not putting on a bathing suit and then wrapping yourself in a towel while everyone else swims at 12 or 13 years old, that's just personal. And then having that body change and then be on magazines alongside with comparison, which is so toxic. That, I mean, I think it can really create a perfect storm of chaos, and I think forces you to really examine where you find your value, what you think of as kind of pretty or interesting. And if you're bred in a world of chaos, I think sometimes the only way to feel comfortable is to recreate that chaos in your life, which is where a lot of us misstep. And I certainly have. I think it's a unique experience. There's not a lot of people, you know, people and my friends who get it and who have known me since before everything still don't fully experience always feeling like there's maybe eyes on you if you just want to be at the gym or pick up your mail or whatever. Those sorts of things which feel really subtle. It actually kind of, if you have panic disorder or something, can really feel like you are in a horror movie at all
Closing
points.
in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that that is a thing that it's hard to communicate, and I don't want to hear people whine about like, oh, sucks, you're famous, sorry. Like,
Right.
And so, I wouldn't really kind of have that conversation with people, but being Cole, who was in that photo, Sprouse, he and Dylan, you know, when I kind of stepped into this world, they had only known this. And I feel like I got a lot of advice and we connected a lot in that sense. And there's just been people around me every step of the way who are, you know, on different parallel versions of similar journeys. And it's absolutely a nice thing to be able to see someone and be like,
You get it.
You get it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, major spoilers from last night's Bachelor finale. We're warning you now. If you haven't watched, leave for a second and come back. Here we go.
Yes, here we go. Watch this.
Becca Kufrin, my Becca, will you marry me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Give me that finger.
Oh my God. It's you. It's us. We're finally together.
Oh my God. That means so much.
I love you.
Yeah, Yep, there you go. It's Garrett. She is in love and happily engaged. The whole thing. The Bachelorette season finale aired Monday night, and man, we have some thoughts.
Yeah,
about
and
this
joining
whole
us
thing.
live to break it all down, our Bachelor Nation superstars, Kayla Quinn and Vanessa Grimaldi. Hello, ladies. We're so happy to have you. I mean, we always said Kayla, but we're really excited.
When she
to have
invited
you
me,
for
I'm
the
like, of
first
course I
time.
want to talk
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
glad that you said yes.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
Well, let's get right into it. This moment was really sweet. You guys were having a reaction for sure. What did we think about the proposal? And was anyone surprised that she chose Garrett over Blake?
So I'm gonna have like an unfiltered,
Oh, please do.
Yes. I'm
good at this. Opinion on this
yeah.
because I only watched episode 1 and the finale.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I've met Becca in person, and she is lovely, so down to earth. And when I met her, she looked really in love. And she's like, I'm like, who do you pick? You know, I'm like, give me a hint. And she's like, all you gotta know is he really makes me laugh. And I think that's like the number one important quality for me in a relationship is humor and having like that same sense of humor. So she looks in love, and I mean, I know there's like a bunch of like
There's a lot of other stuff. but
speculating
she-
all this stuff.
No, but you're right. Kayla, were you surprised?
I was not surprised. I loved her interactions with Garrett. You could tell that she was really herself. It was natural, it was easy, and that's definitely what you want in a relationship. And also, Blake was always nervous, and when you're about to be broken up with, you could feel it, and so I
did
think
you
he
see
saw
the
it coming.
Oh, yeah. He was sweating. He was crying with
I
his
felt so
forehead and
bad.
everything.
He was
Yeah.
so sweaty.
So,
I know.
but Garrett, another thing that I think was sort of just the deal sealer here. Garrett had such a lasting impression on Becca's family.
Yeah.
Even like they asked like Blake about him the whole
I
time, which was
know.
kind of weird. But he got choked up during the whole thing. There's some of it there. He was crying the whole time. And she said that he reminded her of her dad. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that connection really sent him over the top, as far as like being her choice?
Yeah, I think she kept saying like he reminds me of home, and I think that's an important quality to have in a person, just like someone that you could relate to on levels that you can't even explain. It just feels right.
And also subconsciously, she kind of had a crush on him from the beginning. You could see when she was talking about how she wrote about him in her journal.
right.
Yeah.
He was the first person she wrote about.
Yeah.
That's a sign from the beginning, like your initial attraction.
Plus
Well,
the
I
minivan.
think,
Anyway,
I think Garrett
That
was
got me too. I was like, a car seat?
yeah.
I think Garrett was emotional moving forward and excited about her, but Blake was emotional because he was so paranoid about not getting chosen. So, yeah, I feel bad for Blake, and we have to talk about him. He did not see this coming at all. Take a look.
She just said our connection didn't allow her to see connections with other guys for a long time. I did love her. I just thought she loved me back. She just felt like we weren't right for each other. All I can imagine is how happy she's going to be when Garrett proposes to her.
Oh my gosh, it's so heartbreaking. People are very emotionally distraught over this breakup. Becca said the problem she had with Blake was their connection was so solid that she didn't look at other relationships, which I found interesting because people would say that that's a sign that this is the one.
Right, like we're perfect. and
Yeah,
exactly
so
the same.
what were your takes on that rationale from Becca?
Well, question. When did they have their first one-on-one?
The first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
First date.
And then with Garrett? Again, because I only watched it.
Garrett was
Yeah.
like, but Garrett got the rose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
First
You
got the
impression
first
rose,
impression.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the
So you
thing
got
is,
two different.
I was never the lead of the show, but relationships naturally progress throughout the season. And you going into it, you kind of know, and you kind of want the lead to have a relationship with another person, so they can evaluate how strong your relationship is.
Oh,
right?
interesting. Yeah. It almost helps like to see.
To evaluate if are we going to
is this real or not?
outstand?
Yeah. All right.
This
So-
also could be something that Becca was just saying because she didn't really have a reason. She just liked Garrett more.
Yeah,
so
I
it could have
think
been
it
just a kind of something for her to say to make Blake feel better.
Totally.
You know?
You always-
like when you're trying to break up with
it.
someone, you're like, I don't know.
It's not you.
We were
Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
strong that I couldn't pick you.
It was so perfect, it scared me away. Like, okay, that's the worst thing I could imagine. But okay,
And then she also kept saying that they were so similar. Like when they were explaining it later on, she was like, Blake and I were just so similar. Like we feel like the same person. Why is that a bad thing?
well, she also like said she used
like
his
Garrett more.
sort of used his anxiety as little bit of an excuse when she was talking last night in that show. Do you think that Blake was emotionally ready to commit, or was the anxiety he had, did it block him from her a little? What do you think?
I think he was ready to commit. I just think he felt distracted a lot of the times because she was distracted. I think when you're into the relationship and you love a person, that they'll make you feel comfortable and confident, but she just didn't always make him feel confident. She kept bringing up other people and
that
bringing up
pokes
how
holes in the relationship.
and bringing up how nervous he is. That doesn't help.
And we always say
and I
this,
think-
who cares the least at the beginning, and it showed that he was sort of the weaker because he was anxious.
And this is the thing, people on Twitter were very upset that it seemed like she was using that against him, that he had that anxiety about it. I think just this process was a lot harder for him, that he couldn't do it. You guys know, you were there.
Guys, it is so hard to like sit back, and we were talking about this too. Like, it's so easy to watch the show and like judge, like.
I should have done this, or how can I say that?
Right. But like being a contestant on the show, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and you only get to see a fraction of actually like the person's personality or
what's motivating them.
Or so I mean,
at a certain point, you have to cross the line where you say, I'm just going to be happy for the decision they made.
Yeah.
You can't keep judging them. Like, we can, make comments up till like episode 10, but after that, like, we really just need to accept it and be happy. It's their happy
even if she would have chosen Blake, some person on Twitter or Instagram would have been like, why does she, it's like, it's, and I said this on my AFR too. I'm like getting really into it.
Yeah, I know.
I said this on my AFR. I'm like, if you choose door A, you're still gonna piss people off. You choose door B, you're still gonna piss people off. So choose the path that makes you the happiest.
Especially because once you get to the end, you have she could be with either one of these people. I mean, you're talking about like, now we're talking about little degrees of difference to make the final decision, right?
Yeah.
So of course it's gonna be like, well, I could see her with the other person. Well, yeah, she could too, except for this little thing.
Now, you both went through really tough breakups during and after the show. What is your advice for Blake moving forward on how to handle this and get past it?
Suddenly, we felt quiet.
You were so into it, and all of a sudden,
definitely take your time, And also, you know what? Don't feel like you have to watch the future seasons because it'll just rehash memories and emotions. So just, do what's right for you and take a step back from everything.
And you just said for you can't watch. Is it because it brings it up?
Yeah, I just I like watching. I want to support my friends and stuff like that. But I mean, it was like an emotional roller coaster for me. I thought this was the person I was going to end up with and all that. We're on good terms. We're good. We're everything is fine. But I think for Blake, just taking it easy. Like not trying to rehash like why, because then you go into that vicious cycle of like trying to figure something out. When it's just, if it didn't work out, it's because something else better is waiting for you.
So how did you feel when you watched the finale? Did that bring back a lot of those memories and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it was happy memories, I got engaged, I was in love. Just knowing what they're going through now with all the interviews, and I know for us it was tough because we got asked like, oh, it seems like you guys are not happy, and I'm like, huh?
Like, why do you think that?
Nice to meet you too.
So it's so hard coming off of the show and trying to be in your own little bubble. But you can't because you're exposed to the world. And
I was going to say that like once the press goes away, like what's the toughest hurdle?
So nice.
But I mean, what is the
nice.
toughest hurdle after that? Is it like, oh, now we get to know
just really getting to know each other.
like for real,
now,
not in a heightened environment.
Yeah, now it's like let's get to know each other.
All right, so when we watch the final night, it looks like a roller coaster of emotions for both contestants. How did you feel in those moments leading up to the proposal? Was your experience like that? Like, obviously,
I didn't know. I didn't know who he was gonna pick, but I just went into it like I wanted to express how I felt, and I'm like, if he picks me, he picks me. If he doesn't, then like.
Was there a moment while he was talking? I'm sorry, now we're reliving it. But when we watched, like, no, we're talking about yours. But last night when we were watching, there's always that moment where it's like, oh, can they tell? Can they tell that she, can you tell that? It tips and like, oh, I am the one. Like midway through, I don't know.
No, because I think he when I walked in, he had tears in his eyes, and I was like, it's over.
A lot of people took issue with the fact that Becca let Blake say his whole thing before stopping him.
But they make you do that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like in other seasons, Andy broke up with Nick before, and then she got
trashed.
Yeah.
All right, before you go, I want to talk about this. We've been talking about this a lot, but Garrett's Instagram controversy, people have been talking about this on after the final rose. He's addressed it a few times, issued an apology earlier this season. How do you think he has handled all of this? Do you think there's still more he could have done?
I mean, it's just a difficult situation in general, and we've talked about this problem for a long time, and he addressed that he's sorry and he's remorseful and he's trying to move forward and he wants to have a fresh start. And so what more can we really ask from him? I think he's done enough. Maybe, you know, do charity work or just really just branch out and show that he is making steps would be my only suggestion. But honestly, if they're happy, we need to accept this relationship and move forward for them.
Yeah, let
People
him do
make
it.
mistakes, you know, like we evolve as human beings. I'm sure he has too.
Yeah.
I predict they'll just disappear. That he'll disappear, and like just like I don't want to deal with this. I feel like the public eye is like
They're
not for
not
him.
taking-
Yeah.
Seems like that's what she wants too, as well.
Kind of do their thing, because part of it feels like I think for her and him, you go back to like the whole family thing and like how he seemed like her dad and all that. That they just want a life together somewhere like in Montana, out of the spotlight where they can
going
go
to
fishing.
Costco.
Go to Costco.
With a rose bush.
Yeah, under a rose bush.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Can we talk about like the gifts that they got?
Okay, going to the Thailand thing and a beat up old Woody minivan, which was amazing. All right, well, guys.
So much. Come back whenever you want.
Yeah,
Thank you for
please do.
having us.
Yeah, we'll do some more maybe for Paradise. We'll find out. Thank you for tuning in to Bachelorette this season. It has been a wild ride.
Yeah,
More
and
to come next season.
Do not worry. We'll be keeping you updated on all the Bachelor in Paradise shenanigans to come. Very excited for this. A brand new season starts tonight on ABC.
Well, guys, Meghan Markle rang in her 37th birthday on Saturday with a celebration fit for a royal, but it wasn't a birthday party. Here with all the details on that is our royal correspondent, Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Thank you for being here.
Of course, good to see you.
Yeah, you too. So, as people reported, Meghan attended the wedding of one of her husband, Prince Harry's close friends this weekend. Give us a rundown on the big day. Who was there? How'd it go?
Yeah, Meghan and Prince Harry were at the wedding of one of his oldest friends, Charlie Van Strabensee, to Daisy Jenks. Harry arrived separately to Meghan as he was on usher duty. The birthday girl was all smiles as she chatted with several women in attendance, including Celia McCorkadale, whose June wedding she previously attended with Harry. She later reunited with her hubby. They were seen holding hands together at the ceremony as Harry gazed approvingly at his wife. Contrary to some reports, Prince Harry wasn't best man and Prince William didn't attend. However, also at the nuptials in Surrey, which is about 50 miles south of London, were Princess Eugenie and her fiancé, Jack Brooksbank, who of course are looking forward to their wedding on October the 12th. It's at a very familiar venue to us all, Jeremy, St. George's Chapel, which is where Meghan and Harry wed.
What an honor for them to also get married in
Absolutely.
that location. Now, we always love a bridal moment here at People. Let's press pause here and talk more about Daisy and the dress she wore. A lot of people talking about this.
Yeah, Daisy wore a flower-covered veil with a matching form-fitting gown, which she paired with an elegant necklace. In her arms, the blushing bride carried a beautiful bouquet that featured daisies and roses. Meanwhile, the groom wore a black tuxedo jacket with tails, which he paired with a pastel-coloured vest and a red tie. Following the ceremony, the pair shared a sweet kiss outside the church. Daisy was then seen taking a backseat ride on a rickshaw as her smiling husband pedaled away.
It's my favorite part of the whole thing. That's amazing.
I think it's amazing. I don't think if my husband did that. No.
No, thank you.
Moving on.
We've seen Meghan, though, attend a couple weddings now. Let's break down her style as a wedding guest. Are there any go-to trends that she always sticks to?
On Saturday, Meghan opted for a colour block pleated Club Monaco shirt dress that featured an olive pink and white skirt and retails for $328. She accessorised with a knotted belt and a clutch by KU. There were some online eyebrows raised. Meghan left a button on her blouse undone, revealing a black lace camisole underneath.
Oh, my word.
I know. She paired the look with a hat by Society Milliner Philip Tracy. Although the shirt dress was budget-friendly, her Linda Farrow sunglasses came with a royal price tag of $750. They're made with real gold.
Wow.
Saturday's look was still a much more affordable contrast to the boho chic look she sported for the wedding of Princess Diana's niece Celia McCorkadale back in June. There she wore an Oscar de la Renta floral print maxi dress which cost $5,490. She also wore a white fascinator and matching pumps, which was more in line to her more recent outing.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, looks great either way there. Now, always exciting to kind of see them out and about, but now that the wedding's over, it might be a while before we see our favorite royals at another official event. Why is that?
Yes, August means vacation time for Queen Elizabeth, who is settling into her long holiday break at Scotland's Balmoral Castle. She returns to London in early October. Close family visit the monarch during this time, so newlyweds Meghan and Prince Harry are likely to be on the guest list. It'll be Meghan's first visit to the estate since her wedding, and she will be expected to immerse herself in everything from outdoor picnics and barbecues to long walks in the heather and traditional parties and dances. One activity she may refuse is hunting or stalking deer. Meghan is renowned for her love of animals. Meanwhile, Prince William is set to visit Amiens Cathedral on April the 8th to take part in the centenary commemoration of the Battle of Amiens. The Battle of Amiens began on August the 8th, 1918, and historians view it as a pivotal moment in the Allied offensive which led to the end of World War I. This kind of event is something Prince William is very used to attending. For instance, he and Princess Kate headed to Belgium last summer to mark the centenary of the Battle of Passchendaele.
Wow, all right, looking forward to that. And we also got a rare insider's peek inside the life of a royal when sister princesses Eugenie and Beatrice sat down with British Vogue for their September issue. I have to admit, a little surprised that the Queen would allow that. A lot of these things are obviously, they have to go through her. What was the deal here? Why was it done? What were some of the highlights?
It might surprise you, but they actually aren't the first. In June 2016, Princess Kate appeared on the cover of British Vogue in honour of the magazine's 100th anniversary special issue. And photographer Patrick Demarchais shot Princess Diana for British Vogue in 1990. Who can forget this iconic shot? Meanwhile, the princess's first joint interview was quite revealing. Apparently, Eugenie got into slight trouble for posting an Instagram pic of her dad, Prince Andrew, in a corridor of Buckingham Palace that's off limits to the public. They also admitted that they often act as each other's rocks when public ridicule gets especially difficult. They admit there have been times when they've cried because of it, but the other one has gotten them through. Despite the normal sibling rivalries, Beatrice shared that one of their biggest feuds was over a pair of shoes. Beatrice will serve as Eugenie's maid of honour when she weds Jack Brooksbank on October the 12th. Eugenie said she wasn't stressed about her big day. In addition to compiling Pinterest boards of wedding cakes, she's been busy making sure her wedding is free from plastic in what might be the most environmentally conscious royal wedding to date.
Oh, good for them for doing that. One of my biggest feuds with my sister was over shoes as well.
I can absolutely see that.
Very interesting information. Thank you, Imogen. Good to see you.
Of course, good to see you.
All right, we're going to take one last look at our People Now poll. We've been asking who you think should find love as the next Bachelor. Who we got in the lead here? Looks
Jason.
like Jason.
Still pulling ahead.
Yeah, you know what? That actually surprises me. I thought that after last night that Blake would be pulling ahead. Why are people so obsessed with Jason?
I'm telling you, if I could have ever given a superlative or an award to someone who had a full transformation over the course of a season, it's Jason. I feel like he was such a wallflower, like, didn't stand out a lot at the beginning. And ended up being like not only a favorite of hers, but a favorite of the audience. People love him.
I guess I'm just surprised because usually when you get to see that initial heartbreak, like Blake, you're like, I want Blake to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Jason was great. I remember when he said that he wants to be friends with her. I thought that was so sweet.
And impossible.
No, I don't think impossible.
Oh, I do.
I think you can be friends with your exes.
Our next poll: can you be friends with your exes after you've been in love?
I'm friends with most of my exes. Granted, it's a little tumultuous and cyclical, but
are you proving the point or my point? So I'm right.
I think you can be friends with your exes. Do you guys think?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Tweet us. Let us know.
Yeah, tweet us to let us know how disastrous your experience has been trying to be friends with your exes.
And we'll be back tomorrow with another question of the day. Maybe
it's that one. We don't know.
Be sure to tune in.
Also coming up tomorrow, we're sitting down with Bachelorette Becca and Garrett to talk about that whirlwind love story and this season's epic finale. You do not want to miss some of the new stuff they tell us.
Yeah, we don't want to let go of it. And like I said before, I interviewed them and they were so in love. So I think it's going to work out for them.
Do you think the pets are like going to be temporary and they're moving quickly to being parents?
Maybe. It seems like she's wanting it to happen. We talked a little bit about their Bachelorette and bachelor parties. So yeah, I know, which is always really fun to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from actor Omar Epps. Enjoy.
Bye,
guys. Hey, I'm Omar Epps, and this is One Last Thing. The last show I binge watched is, I'd have to say, Narcos. The last song stuck in my head is Shout by Tears for Fears. The last time I was starstruck, I'd have to say Prince. I was fortunate to meet him a few times, with like literally every time I met him, I was just staring like in awe. You know how you would do if you met Prince. I did that.